Sign in, no membership required. Your favorite live streams, breaking coverage, and video on demand are all right there. Free, just like always.
For the War Room Posse, we have to be a force multiplier on this. We have to stick the landing.
In the White House, in the Oval Office, you're crushing it, my friend.
And if you want more, the members section is your backstage pass. Get exclusive behind-the-scenes photos and videos, insider moments from the studio and the field, and early access to new content before it goes public. Members can also unlock special experiences like virtual meet and greets, member-only auctions, and select event access. Plus, commercial-free viewing of certain shows inside the app. It's not just an app, it's a community. Download the RAV app today. Find it in the App Store and Google Play.
Ahead on American Sunrise, President Trump announces a major breakthrough in Gaza. So what brought the deal together, and how soon could this next phase become reality? Plus, President Trump floating the possibility of temporarily withdrawing Todd Blanche's nomination for Attorney General. What triggered this latest standoff? We'll explain. And then later, the RNC is preparing for its first ever midterm convention. Top Republican leaders will be in Dallas to prepare for the November election. But is the GOP really prepared for what comes next? And is the GOP united? RNC co-chairman Casey Crosby joining us live to discuss those stories and so much more right now on American Sunrise.
Good morning, America.
Welcome to American Sunrise.
Whether it's culture,
We have breaking news to share with you.
politics,
President Trump is joining us live now from Florida.
we've got you covered.
This is what it looks like to be a patriot.
We have to protect the American family.
The American dream is still alive.
I'm David Brody.
I'm Terrance.
And I'm Dr. Gina. Good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. G. We are live with you from the Palm Beaches. Let's bring in Bo Davidson. He's in for jury duty. David Brody and Terrance Bates in our Denver newsroom. Good morning, gentlemen. I want to share what we were talking about before we came into the show, because I thought it was interesting. So your favorite artist who has a bad voice. That's what we were talking about, right? Bo, you had one.
Well, I was just saying that I think Bob Dylan traditionally does not have a great singing voice, but his music has become synonymous with excellence, but a lot of times because of the songwriting, too. Now, people could say the same thing about Taylor Swift as well. Some people, think she's got a questionable voice, but the songs themselves have obviously lasted over a long period of time. So, Terrance, I don't know about you, but I just think there's, being from Memphis, there's so many great singers, and I'm thinking of Al Green, Otis Redding, Elvis Presley.
Absolutely.
It's kind of synonymous with great singing, too. But who do you like? Maybe their music, but not necessarily, and maybe they have a distinctive voice, but maybe it's not a traditionally great voice.
See, and that's the interesting part. There are performers out there who aren't great vocalists, but who have such a distinctive voice and whose music is timeless that you kind of forget about their voice. For me, the voice that comes to mind immediately is Bob Marley. I wouldn't say that he's got a great singing voice. I think it's distinctive, and I think his music is super moving, but I wouldn't say he's a great vocalist. And the other person I brought up, Macy Gray, I can't stand to hear her talk, much less sing. I feel like it's chalk, it's fingernails on the chalkboard, but she's got good music. And so it's just crazy, because I wouldn't think she's a very good vocalist. In fact, I'm on record. She's not a good vocalist at all, but she's got good music, Dr. Gina.
My favorite would be Pearl Jam. Love Yellow Ledbetter.
Okay.
My least favorite would definitely be, I just went blank on his name. That's what happens when you get to this age. I guess, Willie Nelson. That's what I was going to say.
Willie Nelson.
Oh,
okay.
I think he has a terrible voice. I think he has terrible music. I think he's a terrible leftist. And I don't know. Somebody's probably going to hate me for saying that. But I'm just being honest, as we all try to do. All right, Terrance, do we have some headlines today?
Yeah, headline, Dr. Gina don't like Willie Nelson.
Okay.
Back to you.
I just made my least favorite of artists out there who are famous and have a bad voice. You know, like, but I have a lot of songs that
is-
people like, and I recognize that people do like his songs. I just don't.
No, that is true. That is true. All right, so I want to bring your attention to this Truth Social post from President Trump. President Trump announcing a deal for Hamas to disarm there in Gaza. He didn't lay out a timeline for all of this to happen, and Israel, as you can imagine, is skeptical. But you may remember the ceasefire was signed probably about 9 months ago now or so, and so this would be phase 2. It's taken a while to get us to this point, Dr. Gina, but it sounds like there is progress being made, and let's just see if Hamas, in fact, does disarm rather than just talk about it.
Well, if they do, this will be, as President Trump would say, huge.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Bo.
Well, yeah, it would be huge. I mean, I just, I don't want to be glass half empty, guys. It's the same thing with Iran. I mean, I know I come on the show from time to time when you guys are out or sick or whatever. And so, even in these intermittent cycles, I come back and it's like, I feel like I'm watching a soap opera. Like the same thing is going on.
It's
the same plot.
It's
you know
the
what I mean?
same
It's like
story.
every time I come, I've got to do my research. Okay, Iran. Oh, we're still in it. Gas prices are still high. It's like, I'm sorry for being skeptical and dubious, but dealing with terrorists who are hell-bent on killing Israelis, killing Americans, killing Christians, I just don't know how you get into the psyche and say, oh, yeah, we're going to put our weapons down. Sure. Forgive me for being skeptical about it.
Plus,
No,
I feel like
that's a fair point of view. Go ahead, Dr. G.
I feel like there, and I could be wrong. This, as you said, Bo, this is a story I've grown very weary of. I don't even like to talk about it. I tell the producers all the time, do we really have to talk about that again? Because there's no news. But I will say, one of the things that I wonder is if the people that are giving the promises to President Trump regarding any sorts of ceasefires or peace deals, are those people really in charge of firing the guns, right? Of sending the missiles, of whatever? Are those the same people? Because a lot of times, especially when there are leaders killed, as we know there have been in this war, the left hand really doesn't know what the right hand is doing. There are different regimes, different teams, different people trying to take control and struggling for control, and a lot of times even competing with one another, even though they're in the same country. But there's really not a head. There's really not an octopus, right? There's no hierarchical establishment where you could say, oh, well, this person said it, so it's true. So it occurs to me that President Trump a lot of times probably doesn't even know who exactly he's dealing with, and if they have the authority to make the promises and keep the promises that they've made to him. So,
Dr. Gina, I now know that I've been sick and I haven't eaten for the last 2 days because the moment you said octopus, I started craving calamari. So please pray for me here. Let's get to this morning's Bible verse.
I will.
I would
Do you
love
know
some calamari.
that's one food I will not eat because a girlfriend, actually Emily Campagno, if you happen to know who that is, sent me a book about an octopus. And it killed me, and I forever cannot eat octopus. And I used to love charred octopus in restaurants, so healthy and all those things. But I can never eat another octopus since I read that book.
Okay, I'll eat your share. How about that?
No,
when next time we see each other, I'll order 2, one for you, one for me, and I'll eat yours. All right, there you go. Good
All
deal.
right, let's get to today's Bible verse. It always ends up at food, does it not? This Bible verse was sent to us by EFFM470 in our YouTube chat. Thank you so much for that. It is Mark 16:16. He who believes and is baptized will be saved, but he who does not believe will be condemned. Strong words from a really strong God. Let's bring in RAB DC correspondent Neil McCabe. Neil, are we close? Can we fantasize about a deal with Hamas?
Well, I mean, let's see if the deal will stick. The president put out that Truth Social and the statement from the White House. This has been something that has been in the works for a long time. And like you pointed out, Dr. Gina, it comes down to that other, that principle, unity of command. Are the people cutting the deal the same ones who control the weapons? I think that there are people inside Hamas who are thinking maybe we don't want to live amongst this rubble. Let's move on. And obviously the popularity of Hamas has suffered by, the Gazans, the people actually living in that rubble, are looking around and saying to the Hamas leadership, why was this a good idea? And so we'll see how it plays out.
Neil, I want to get your thoughts on this Trump Truth Social post about the Todd Blanche nomination. We were talking about it yesterday on the show. Trump said he's not opposed to withdrawing nomination until Cornyn and Tillis leave office. They had expressed some concerns about Trump's IRS settlement. Cornyn is even demanding changes to it before backing Blanche. Is that true, or are these just two, lame ducks dragging their feet on the way out to be a thorn in Trump's side?
Well, obviously they want to be a thorn in Trump's side since he's the reason they're returning to private life. A lot of times what happens when you so-called oppose a nomination, you're really trying to get something else. A great example is when John Cornyn tried to hold up Kari Lake's confirmation to be the ambassador to Jamaica, but what he was really fighting about was $1.3 billion for an agency in the State Department called the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, PEPFAR. And so PEPFAR is this agency, does a lot of work with Planned Parenthood overseas. The Trump administration had cut had not dispensed the funds for it. Cornyn has former aides who are associated with PEPFAR, and so he basically made a whole to-do about Kari Lake. But once the State Department said, all right, we'll loosen up that $1.3 billion for your friends, he then unlocked Kari Lake's nomination. Todd Blanche can be the acting attorney general for maybe another 600 days because of the way the law was written specifically for an acting attorney general, so we would not have this kind of situation. So, we'll see how it plays out. But Cornyn certainly and Thom Tillis certainly are not sincere in opposing Todd Blanche for whatever reason they may be given.
Hey, Neil, I was just looking at the president's schedule. He's going to be headed over to Camp David here in just a few hours. He's going to hold a cabinet meeting there at Camp David. It raises some hairs on my back because the president doesn't typically go to Camp David, and to hold a cabinet meeting there seems unique, seems out of the ordinary. Is there anything to read into this?
Yeah, he did. About 2 weeks ago, he also went to Camp David. He's going to hold that cabinet meeting at 11, and then he'll be rolling out to Bedminster and spending the rest of the weekend there, returning to the White House Sunday night. I'm not reading anything specific into it. Okay. It may be that because the security at Camp David might be a little better, and it might be an atmosphere that he is beginning to enjoy. It takes some getting used to, but Camp David can be pleasant. And so maybe in that atmosphere, he feels like it's a better situation for his cabinet. There may be things he wants to say and discuss out of Washington, D.C., and then we'll find out what happened.
Neil McCabe, we appreciate it. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Neil.
Thanks, Neil.
All right, coming up, we're going to check out the latest headlines from the Rab Newsroom with Terrance Bates. Woohoo! But first, Rab's own Don Newen releasing a new song, a deeply meaningful song called Extortion 17. If you haven't heard this story, you won't want to miss this. This is a new hit released from Real America's Music. It's a song honoring Real America heroes and premieres on Real America's Music, our YouTube channel, right after the show. That'll be right at 10 a.m. Here's a quick preview.
Some stories deserve more than headlines. They deserve to be remembered. Extortion 17 honors the 30 American service members and 8 Afghan partners who made the ultimate sacrifice when their helicopter was shot down during a mission in Afghanistan on August 6, 2011. Through powerful orchestration and heartfelt emotion, composer Don Newen pays tribute to their courage, their service, and the families who continue to carry their legacy. From Real America's Music, this is Extortion 17 by Don Newen. Download it now.
Hey guys, is that Don singing?
Yes, he is freaking amazing.
Oh my God.
No, that's not him singing.
I didn't know. Don can sing.
That's not him.
That wasn't him?
Oh.
Bo, you're saying that was not him singing?
I don't think it is.
Oh, I thought it was. I'm pretty sure it was.
Whoever's singing, I like that person's voice.
No, because I think with the case, and you would have to check, maybe we can ask him, but I think he uses a program to do it. Because that's how the last one was, unless he's changed it.
So he's like an auto-tune guy? What's that? What's the rapper's name who did auto-tune? T-Pain, yeah. Let me find out. I'm going to call Don T-Pain Nguyen. Hey, Tracy, good morning.
Good morning. I know, Pierce said you were sick because you're a Bears fan.
See, and I was just going to go there. Pierce texted me and said you were talking trash about me. I thought we were friends, Trace.
Pierce,
he was like, oh, yeah.
Throw me under the bus like that.
He said you were talking big trash, and I was like, not Tracy, not my TT.
I would.
See, you can't even lie. You can't even say I would never. You can't even lie. She was like, I would.
Pierce started it. I just joined in.
All right, it's all good. I see how it goes. I still love you, Trace.
Good, thanks. I love you too.
This news break is brought to you by AMAC, Association of Mature American Citizens.
Beautiful shot this morning of the White House in Washington, D.C. Welcome back to American Sunrise. I'm Bo Davidson, filling in for David Brody out on jury duty. We still have a lot more coming up here on the show, but first, of course, the great Terrance Bates is standing by with the latest headlines, the hottest headlines, mind you, from the Real America's Voice newsroom, sponsored by AMAC.
Tired of the radical left destroying our country? Looking for a real conservative alternative to the woke AARP? Meet AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. Over 2 million strong, AMAC is fighting for faith, family, freedom, and our sacred Constitution. As a member, you get powerful everyday benefits. Huge discounts on travel, hotels, restaurants, shopping, and entertainment. Plus major savings on vision, dental, auto, home, and life insurance. We'll help you navigate Medicare and Social Security with honest America First guidance. Plus, you'll receive AMAC Magazine, uncensored news, legislative alerts, and real grassroots tools to make your voice heard and take our country back. Patriots, this is your moment. If you love America and want to defend it for the next generation, join the fight. Scan the QR code right now or go to amac.us/RAV. Fight back. Let's make America great again.
President Trump will be heading to Camp David shortly to host his latest cabinet meeting. He's scheduled to meet with his secretaries at 11 this morning. Today's meeting marks the 13th cabinet meeting of his second term and the first held at the presidential retreat. President Trump has rarely visited Camp David during his second term. This morning's gathering comes as 47 says a, quote, historic agreement has been reached for Hamas to disarm and Israel to withdraw IDF forces from Gaza. Thursday's announcement comes 9 months after the U.S. brokered ceasefire between Israel and Hamas was signed. The disarming Hamas process would mark phase 2 of the ceasefire plan, with President Trump writing on social media, quote, the agreement will be carried out in carefully structured phases. As disarmament is completed, Israeli forces will withdraw and the International Stabilization Force will work with the new Palestinian police force to take responsibility for Gaza being safe for its residents and its neighbors. A Georgia father who gave his now 16-year-old son the gun that the kid used in a deadly school shooting will spend the next 15 years of his life behind bars. It's a new phenomenon of parents being charged in conjunction with crimes that their children committed.
It is clear you failed as a parent. You did not provide a stable household. You didn't get him mental health counseling when it was obvious he needed some. None of those failures helped your case, but those aren't why you were convicted. You were convicted because the warning lights were flashing brighter and brighter, and you didn't get him help, and you didn't remove his access to the guns.
The 55-year-old dad's sentencing on Thursday comes just days after his son was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Both convictions and sentences are related to the September 4th, 2024 attack on Appalachia High School, which is just north of Atlanta. 2 students and 2 teachers were killed that day. Millions of older Americans who depend on Medicare Part D for their prescriptions are bracing for the possibility of higher prices for their medicines. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services is ending a temporary subsidy program for prescriptions, which was implemented under the Biden administration back in 2024. The change could cause prices to spike starting next year, even though federal officials insist the financial impact on Medicare beneficiaries will be minimal. The roughly 25 million Americans on Medicare Part D will find out about their 2027 rates this coming fall. CMS Administrator Dr. Mehmet Oz says that ending the subsidy program will prevent billions of taxpayer dollars from being funneled directly into insurance companies' coffers. He also claims the program cost his agency about $3.6 billion this year. That's a quick check of your headlines. Now let's get a quick check of your forecast. Weather Nation meteorologist Tracy Anthony standing by with more on what you can expect today. Tracy, good to see you. Good morning to you. What's our weather story?
Hey, good morning. Welcome back. You know, Mobile, Alabama, this was yesterday. Look at this, just sheets of rain. So we still have the hot and humid weather conditions and chances for storms really across the southeast and into the central plains. So that's going to be one of the big stories here for the week. But want to, get you out the door with some temperatures for the day. This is the heat index value or the feel like temperature by this afternoon, and Wichita, Kansas up to the triple digits. The Great Lakes feeling some cooler air, so that is a nice little break in the Northeast and New England. You've been on the cooler side all week, so that's still kind of the best spot to be if you don't like the heat. We do have the heat building out west this weekend, so could be breaking some record high temperatures from Phoenix all the way up to Billings, Montana. So Terrance, that means you are going to be feeling the heat, and a lot of us are also going to be seeing the smoke as we do have an extreme fire weather outlook for parts of Washington State. Terrance?
Oh, wow. All right. Hey, quick trivia here. What city has the second largest Mardi Gras celebration after New Orleans? It's a city you just mentioned.
Denver. Is that right?
No, it's not Denver. It is Mobile, Mobile, Alabama.
I just learned this. Oh, okay, yes.
Did you?
I just learned it. I couldn't think of it.
Yeah, you know what, and don't ask me why I know that, but when you mentioned Mobile, that's the first thing that came to my mind, especially watching all that flooding there, and I was like, oh, they have a really big Mardi Gras celebration. One of those useless facts that I've picked up over the past year, so there you go.
I think Denver has a big Kentucky Derby festival. They're like the second largest for that, yeah.
I see in that. I did not know. I guess I'm going to have to bet on some horses next year then. All right, Tracy, we'll check in with you next hour for our hometown forecast. Thank you.
Yeah.
Got my little fix of coffee now. Up next, President Trump says that Hamas has agreed to give up its weapons in a major step towards peace in Gaza. The big question this morning, will the terror group follow through? Yeah. We'll have an expert on next to analyze.
Live on YouTube.
My mind just works in such weird ways. Like things just pop into my mind based on what someone says. Like the Mobile thing, she said Mobile, and that's the first thing that popped into my mind was, oh, they've got a really big Mardi Gras parade.
You know who else has a really big one, Terrance, right outside of New Orleans, because I was at it, is Houma, Louisiana. Have you heard of Houma?
I've heard of Houma, yeah.
It's just outside of New Orleans. It may be, 40, 45 minutes away, but they They do it up. I mean, they got some big floats. It's a big deal to them.
Do they?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That's one thing. I have never been to Mardi Gras, and it's on my bucket list. It's just not high up on it, but I want to experience once.
Yeah, sure.
KC, good morning. Terrance Bates here. Thank you so much for being here with us. How are you?
I'm great. How are you all?
Doing well, doing well. We appreciate it. Looking forward to the conversation.
Sure. I'm happy to talk about, I guess, midterm conventions and how bad the Democrats are.
Oh, we thought you were coming on to talk about your book.
Oh, no book for me.
I'm joking. I'm just messing with you. I'm joking.
I know you are. Listen, I think I could write an exciting book, though.
Oh, for sure.
All right, that's Bristol, Tennessee. Some stadium right there. Someone can tell me who that is. Get in our YouTube chat and talk to the hosts of this show. We love to see you guys in there. Welcome back to American Sunrise. President Trump says an agreement has been reached for Hamas to disarm. President Trump posted on Truth Social that the agreement would be carried out in carefully structured phases, calling it a critical step toward Gaza being governed by a new Palestinian government. Israeli officials, however, remain skeptical that Hamas will follow through on its commitments. Let's bring in RNC co-chair Casey Crosby. Good morning, Casey. How do you see the issues of war and peace playing into the midterms? This is the big concern for all of us in so many different angles, but especially this one.
Listen, President Trump has been the peacemaker since he took office. And, while we are thrilled to see this agreement, I think we're going to have to wait and see what happens. I mean, we have to remember Hamas is a terrorist organization. And, my money is always going to be on President Trump and his ability to make peace across the world. Certainly we have seen him take courage and have a spine where others were unwilling to do so. And so, again, my money is always on President Trump and we will see. But again, we're dealing with terrorists here, and we're dealing with people who hate us.
Casey, we're hoping to see you on September 9th and 10th for the upcoming midterm convention there in Dallas. Axios has this headline, which says Thune and Johnson both plan to attend Trump's Dallas convention. Talk about what's at stake. And I think we all generally know what's at stake leading up to the midterms. But from your perspective, what's at stake at this upcoming midterm convention? And is this about making sure that everyone is on the same page leading into November? It seems that there's a lot to really unpack here leading up to the convention.
Listen, this is an incredible opportunity for the Republican Party to showcase President Trump and his agenda and all the accomplishments we've had over the past year and a half. I mean, President Trump is the best messenger. And, we are so thrilled that he had this idea to do a midterm convention. We think it's going to be a tremendous opportunity, not only to talk about the administration's successes, but also to highlight the amazing candidates that we have running across the country. I mean, when you look at the Democrats right now, their party is in disarray. They are a complete disaster. And we're going to be able to go out and spotlight how great our candidates are, how much we are accomplishing for the American people. And so this is just a tremendous opportunity. We're really looking forward to it.
Casey, I want to ask you about fundraising, where that stands ahead of the midterms, and if there's any enthusiasm concerns. And as a follow-up to that, I'd love to know why Dallas was chosen. I mean, I think some of us might think because of the Tallarico-Paxton face-off, the fact that Texas, there's been some changing in dynamics there. If you could just give us some insight on why Dallas was chosen and about enthusiasm and fundraising, if you would.
Yeah, so I'll start off with Dallas. I mean, Texas is a great place for us to go. They can accommodate us. I mean, when you're throwing together a convention like this, a midterm convention, which is sort of an extenuating circumstance for us to be putting something together at this scale leading into the midterms, and Dallas was able to accommodate us. Of course, Texas is a state where we have target races, and so it just made sense for us to be in Texas. city. They are so welcoming. And again, it's a tremendous opportunity for us to be in a state that we absolutely love. As far as the fundraising goes, we're just killing it. I mean, we have $128 million cash on hand. The Democrats are in debt. I mean, I have secondhand embarrassment for them. I mean, we just learned last week. I mean, not only are they in debt, they've had to put their building up for collateral, and then they got scammed by an email where somebody was pretending to be their chairman. I mean, they are just a disaster. And so, of course, we are incredibly encouraged by our fundraising. And I also have to say, we're also encouraged by the unity that we have, because all of our committees, whether it's the NRCC, NRSC, SC, all of us are just breaking fundraising records. Our PACs are out raising money. And so it's incredible to see the unity between all the different groups working towards winning these midterm elections.
Where would the lion's share of that money be invested? Because I know that, there's some fractioning in our party right now. Gen Z is a problem. There's a motivational issue. There is definitely always a fraud issue. The Democrats are not going to slow down on that. So tell us about what some of the plans are to keep our elections fraud-free, to bring our coalitions back together, the same ones that voted for President Trump, and to invite some of these folks in that maybe have wandered away, or maybe are wandering away from the Democrat Party.
So as the former treasurer of the Republican National Committee, I love talking about how we spend our money, because I think it's so important. And I think that's why we're killing it on our fundraising, is because we are a lean machine. If it is not going towards getting out the vote or protecting the vote, the RNC simply is not doing it. We are all about winning. We have had a complete mentality change since President Trump came in and became our nominee. And so it's pretty simple at the RNC. We have we're involved in over 160 lawsuits right now in 36 different states trying to protect the vote. We have requested from 48 states FOIA requests to get the voter rolls, and we are doing everything in our end to be on the offense when it comes to election integrity. And of course, other people, you see the Department of Justice, we can't coordinate with them, but you see the Democrats getting it from all directions. And so again, that goes back to the unity where we're all staying in our lanes, we know what our jobs are, and we are well positioned going into these midterm elections.
Casey, you've mentioned the word unity a couple of times, so I'm curious if there is a unified platform leading into this upcoming convention, and what is that platform? If you can highlight maybe a couple of points that are going to be the focus.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, our unity is the fact that we were all on the same page with President Trump's agenda and putting the America First agenda up front and spotlighting the highlights and the accomplishments that he's had since he started his second term. Of course, I think that all of us are unified in the fact that we think the Democrat socialists are absolutely crazy, and that is not something that is going to work in America or for the American people. And so certainly you're going to hear a lot about that message. And of course, the border, we've had zero crossings month after month after month. Wages are up, inflation is down. And just look, I mean, we just got out of tax season not too long ago. And look at what we had the largest tax decrease in history, U.S. history. I mean, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. We have the Trump accounts. I mean, the accomplishment that President Trump has had during the second term are simply amazing. And that is unifying us with the message behind his agenda and the agenda for the American people. And that's going to be something that we are going to be talking a lot about going into these midterm elections. You're going to see it highlighted, I think, at the midterm convention. And again, we are all working together because we know we have to make sure we have President Trump's agenda for a full 4 years.
Casey, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Casey.
Coming up, a viral TikTok is putting Starbucks on the defensive. Baristas say a new drink ingredient leaving them coughing. But the company insists the product is safe. We're going to have the facts right after this break. Good morning, Gene.
Can you hear me?
I can. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
Well, the shock treatments are working. Just tolerate me. I twitch a little. I miss you guys. I was on with you a long time ago, and even remember you in the hallways at the CPAC meeting down in Harbor Marina down there, the Marriott.
Here in Florida, or was that California?
No,
DC.
that was in Washington, D.C.
Oh, in D.C.
I think it was
yeah, sorry. That was a brain lapse. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it was a CPAC conference going. Steve Bannon had part of
10 years, yeah.
Yeah. I joined you on the couch, and it was a mob scene. So if you don't remember, I'm not offended.
Well, it's nice to have you back. Thank you.
Likewise.
It's Puppy Friday.
My phone is spazzing out. YouTube chat, I'm trying to get in and chit chat with you guys, but my phone is taking forever and a day. I don't know what's going on.
Listen up. They feed you headlines, cut the frame. Say it loud enough, call it fact. Change the words, dodge the blame. Sell the lie, then double back. They say trust us, don't ask why. Look away, don't use your eyes. But truth don't need a costume. Truth don't hide. Tick, tick, tick. Truth bomb. Tick, tick, truth bomb. Say one.
All right, what is this bird? Obviously some sort of falcon? Osprey. Okay. What a cute, I'm such a bird freak. I have no idea. Like that's like a switch in your brain. You either are or you aren't. Like a bird freak. I just love birds. I could be one of those little old ladies out there with my binoculars going from remote place to remote place just looking at birds. Welcome back to American Sunrise. I'm Dr. G. We're so glad you are with us today. It is time now. Are you a bird freak? If you're a bird freak, tell us in our YouTube chat. It's time now for today's health news that is sponsored by the wellness company Under the Microscope today. Are you one of those folks that still goes to Starbucks even after all their political troubles? Well, you might want to listen up here. I've been trying to really convince my pregnant daughter-in-law to stop going to Starbucks because this viral TikTok has sparked questions about Starbucks' new blending powder. Why do you need blending powder used in some blended refreshers, whatever those are? Baristas say the powder becomes airborne during preparation, causes coughing, sore throats, and other problems. Starbucks says the product contains a small amount of food-grade silica. That's a sand. It's an ingredient for use in food, and it says that it does not contain crystalline silica. The company says the powder is safe for use in food, while workers continue to raise concerns about breathing airborne dust. Listen, can I tell you something? This powder doesn't bother me nearly as much as the fact you get those little egg bites. You think you're having egg bites? Have you seen the ingredient list on those egg bites? There is, and I can't remember what exactly the ingredients are in the egg bites, but let me tell you, Starbucks, seed oils, food dyes, you name it, I'm telling you, and that's all if it doesn't bother you that they're a wacky liberal company that does major matching funds, one of the biggest donors, as I understand it, to Planned Parenthood. This summer, patriotic Americans from coast to coast will be celebrating the 250th birthday of the greatest country on the planet. This nation was founded by brave patriots who declared their independence from British overlords. This summer is not only a good time to reflect on 250, it is also a great time to channel some of that American exceptionalism, declare your independence from big pharma and the broken medical establishment. That's where the wellness company comes in. You see and hear from their doctors all the time, and you know their products are the gold standard for keeping you and your family safe and healthy. They make sure you're prepared for whatever happens with their series of prescription medical kits. These kits contain an assortment of life-saving medications and guidebooks to assist in the use of the meds in the kit. Additionally, Wellness Company offers a variety of products from parasite cleanses, methylene blue, weight loss, so much more. These can help you stay healthy and live a longer, more satisfying life. Celebrate America's 250 by declaring your independence from Big Pharma. Go to twc.health/RAV, twc.health/RAV. Use the promo code RAV. It'll save you 10%. All right, Florida Attorney General James Utmeyer says his office is launching an investigation into Dr. Fauci following his Senate testimony on the COVID pandemic. Utmeyer accused Fauci of a lack of candor after the former top health official repeatedly invoked the fifth during the questioning. Actually, 111 times he did that. Utmeyer says it is past time to get to the truth about what happened during the pandemic, but his office has not yet released the details about the scope of the investigation. I want to bring in the host of the Grassroots Truthcast podcast and political strategist, Gina Valentino. Gene, listen, so the pardon that he was given with the auto pen by Joe Biden, which could be immaterial at some point, that notwithstanding, apparently states, he's not pardoned from any state prosecution. So states may be going after Fauci in droves. Florida leading the way, as usual. Will we see Fauci in an orange jumpsuit? I think he just looked good in that color.
Well, thanks for having me. There's part of me that loves our constitutional republic because there's backstops to protect us when one element of our government fails us. And this is one of those cases where the backstop may just help. The bad behavior at the federal level that allowed this auto pen pardon to exist in the first place might be overshadowed by, as you just mentioned, with 50 plus indictments that could come from 50 states if they were so disposed at the state level because of the separation of powers between state and federal government. As a former county commissioner locally, we were able to do things that were not able to be done at the state and federal level because of certain autonomies. In this case, specifically to answer your question, I don't know which is worse. The fact that he was pardoned by an auto pen, which is bad behavior unto itself, or that he hides himself and masks himself, no pun intended, behind this Fifth Amendment entitlement. The Fifth Amendment was never intended to be used to skirt justice. It was intended to protect those who are abused in a judicial system, yes. But why should we make allowances for 111 pleadings of the Fifth Amendment yesterday to insult the nation on primetime TV, on all the channels, with his diatribe that got the senators nowhere? I think is a disgrace to the system. I think another constitutional amendment is needed to focus on the bad behavior and abuse of the system.
Interesting, because we had a lawyer on yesterday that said sort of the exact opposite, talked about how important it was for this Fifth Amendment, even though we hate how it was really weaponized. I don't think you can use any other word, but it shouldn't really surprise us that Fauci, of all people, has no respect for our system of justice or for the American people. I mean, he was willing to pretty much kill them, allegedly.
Yeah, well, do you think that, I think it was Madison who wrote the Fifth Amendment, do you think it was his intention to allow individuals to abuse the system, to hide behind a system that was intended to protect equal rights and justice under the law? I'm not a lawyer, but I don't think it's the intent. Unfortunately, it's gotten perverted, hasn't it? For what do you expect from a lawyer that he didn't think that it was intended to, that it was needed to protect his rights? Protect Fauci's rights? At what expense? The millions that died in the United States and around the world from the abuse of the information and the gain-of-function research funding at the Wuhan lab?
Yeah.
Where does justice of an individual and protection of the rights of the nation and the world begin?
You're not going to get any argument from this anchor. I tell you what, I wish we were watching the trial of the public hanging or drawing and quartering of this face of evil. I'm just going to put it out there. That's how I feel. That's the hearing I'm ready for. Gina Valentino, thank you so much for your time this morning. Oh, and by the way, Democrats are defending Fauci on this. I just want to get that out there. Thank you so much. We appreciate you being with us. Sorry we're out of time. Love to have you back soon. Longtime friend Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
More American Sunrise in just a moment. But first, Rob's own Eric Bolling back with another Main Street America event. General admission for attendees will experience 2 live national broadcasts. Quick preview right here.
From packed crowds to unforgettable conversations, Eric Bolling's Main Street America tour has been an incredible journey across the country.
Make sure you subscribe to Real America's Voice, pro-Trump, pro-conservative, patriotic network, more so than anyone I've ever worked at.
And now it's time for the next stop, Las Vegas. Join Eric Friday, August 7th as he broadcasts live from Joel's Chop House inside the Ahern Hotel, bringing you the stories, the voices, and the energy that have made this tour such a success.
I think you are the new America's sheriff. Your numbers are incredible.
Tune in for this special live broadcast beginning at 1 p.m. local time, or join us in person. But tickets won't last long. Scan the QR code right now to secure your spot.
Beautiful place downstairs. We got some live music going. We got this here going. We have a big crowd a little bit later.
Don't miss it. Friday, August 7th, only on Real America's Voice.
Quick vamp, okay.
I'm trying to brush Colby to get him ready for the end of the show. He does not like being brushed. Yeah. But we needed Brody here to do that, Pierce. That's the only thing. Properly.
Pierce, what is your favorite fried chicken spot? Is it Publix? You like See, I don't like Bojangles chicken. I like their breakfast stuff and their biscuits, but I'm not a huge fan of their chicken.
I don't think I've ever had it. My favorite fried chicken would be like mid-Missouri, like any of those family-style restaurants. They just do it right. I can't make it. I can't make fried chicken. I need your recipe, T.
See, so the seasoning part to me is the easy part, but it's cooking it perfectly and cooking it all the way through, because you have to have the perfect heat. Here's the one thing I will say, cast iron skillet. Fry your chicken in a cast iron skillet.
Okay. Will you send me your recipe? I'd love to put it in my family recipe book. I brought it today even. This is it.
Sure. I don't really have a recipe. I just kind of eyeball it and go. Honestly, yeah, I'll do it. Next time I fry some chicken, I'll actually write down kind of how I did it. Next time you're at the grocery store, you may want to try and find a single origin organic coffee. One that comes from one farm, one country, and that's traceable. You probably won't find it, though. Let me just save you the time. What actually fills those store shelves is blended coffee with beans from wherever that are mixed to hit a price point and roasted dark enough that you can't tell the difference or what kind of toxins are actually hiding in your cup. That's what most of us actually have been drinking for quite some time, or maybe even our entire lives. But that's where 1775 coffee comes in. It's one certified organic farm in Bolivia that ships direct from Bolivia to Miami and then straight to your door. Drink coffee that doesn't just fuel your morning, but also fuels your body. And that coffee would be from 1775 Coffee. Go to 1775coffee.com, use the code RAV, and score yourself 15% off. All right, it's now time, now that we're caffeinated, it's time to stay awake, not woke. And we're all discussing Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu this morning. Nearly half of Americans say the United States should enforce the International Criminal Court's arrest warrant if Netanyahu does in fact come to the United States again. A new Economist YouGov poll finds that 49% of Americans support enforcing the warrant, while 27% oppose it. The ICC alleges that Netanyahu committed war crimes crimes and crimes against humanity in Gaza. These allegations against Israel are allegations that Israel strongly denies. New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani says that the city just doesn't have the legal authority to enforce the warrant, but he is also calling on the federal government to join the ICC and arrest Netanyahu. The United States and Israel are not members of the court, and the Trump administration rejects the ICC's claims of jurisdiction over nationals of either country. So let's talk more about this with Dr. Gina and Bo. Dr. Gina, what do you make of all of this?
I guess I'm surprised by these numbers. It's certainly not reflective of what we see in our audience at all. I'm not saying that there aren't those who believe this. We're in a weird political time. I mean, I think we as conservatives are facing an identity crisis right now, and this is emblematic of it. This is just a crazy time to be alive, but an exciting time because the news doesn't stop, Bo. It keeps getting more interesting. And I think as the midterms approach and the 2028 presidential election, it's only going to get more shocking and interesting.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point about the fracture within the Republican Party because you've got voices like Tucker Carlson who are trying to assuage younger people, especially away from Israel and kind of having an anti-Israel posturing. And then on the Democratic side, you have to be concerned about the Democratic Socialist in Zoran Mamdani. And I think it's very clear and palpable by this poll, if it's to be believed, that there is a growing wave of anti-Israel sentiment. And I think that's attributed directly to Mamdani and the DSA. And then also on the Republican side, voices like Tucker Carlson, who've been just more and more anti-Israel. So this wave, this movement, unfortunately, has roots on both sides.
And as I look at those numbers, I often wonder if those numbers are more reflective of people in support of the ICC, or if those numbers really reflect people who simply disagree with Benjamin Netanyahu and are critical of Netanyahu and are willing to say or do anything just in order to depose him, as opposed to really wanting to enforce the ICC law. I wonder about those numbers, and we shall, of course, see. Nothing's going to come of it, of course, because President Trump has publicly said that he is not, he doesn't trust the ICC and doesn't care what the ICC says or thinks. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Okay. We shall see. There you go. You guys were like, okay, where's he going with this? Coming up, 4 courageous women helped protect Moses and even set God's plan in motion. So how did their faith and their bravery change the course of history? We'll talk about it next here on American Sunrise.
Good morning, Dr. Mosley. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
Those polling numbers are amazing, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're even more dramatic than that. There are other ones.
Oh, I watched this whole thing the other day. I believe it was Fox. It might have been News Nation. I just flip around constantly. I couldn't believe the numbers. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do to win. It's terrifying because when you combine the sort of the defectors rather, with the motivation of the people who are still MAGA, it's terrifying.
Well, we're going to lose. I mean, it's fair because, I was talking to Madeline the other day. So, when we used to watch polls and you would see there's a differential of like Democrats plus 3%, plus 5%, you would just hope, just maybe manage to carry it off. But then you find out, it's much closer, but we don't have that kind of tightness.
Yeah. Hey, Jim Mosley.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why. I think my camera had its own mind.
Is this Gina Solo?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So ISO from the chat sent me his fried chicken recipe, Terrance.
What is?
right, welcome back to American Sunrise. I'm sorry, I'm writing peanut oil really fast, so I don't forget to put that on my grocery list for my fried chicken that I'm going to make the first time from Ayasomi in our YouTube chat. Love to hear your recipes, your thoughts, any of that. If you'll hop in our YouTube chat with us as well. Welcome back to American Sunrise. It is time now for our moment of faith this Freedom Friday, this faith-filled Friday. In focus today, there's an old joke. Everybody's heard of Christopher Columbus because he discovered America, but nobody's heard of Columbus's mother. Without his mother, there would have been no America. Love this. Moses was the greatest prophet of the Old Testament, and God was clearly with him, but behind every great man often stands a great woman. Moses became the great deliverer of Israel, but he lived to fulfill his mission only because 4 remarkable women first delivered him. Here to help us analyze this, there is nobody better. Author of The Duke of D.C., The American Dream, Discovering Jesus' Disciples, Who They Were, What They Believed, and What They Achieved, and the co-author of a book series with me, Days of Creation, is out already. 10 Commandments is forthcoming. We have a big conservative book club appearance in our new book for that to come out, coming up, I believe, in October. But we simply refer to this very amazing erudite as the Bible history guy. And Dr. Mosley, welcome back to the show. Jim, I want to hear about this because I love stories like this that are background that we maybe would never have realized if basically you hadn't brought it to us. So tell us.
Yeah, well, 4 times a remarkable woman saved Moses. Of course, the first was his mother, Jochebed, because Pharaoh had commanded all the Egyptians to throw all the baby males of the Hebrews into the Nile. So Moses was born under that threat. So his mother hid him for 3 months, but when she couldn't hide him anymore, she put him in a basket. Actually, it's called an ark in Hebrew, and she put it in the Nile. Now, the second woman was Miriam, his older sister, because when Pharaoh's daughter came and found Moses, she stepped forward and asked the princess, hey, can I find a Hebrew woman to nurse the little baby? And so Miriam brought back Moses' mother, so Jochebed not only recovered her son, but Pharaoh paid to raise him. The third woman was obviously the princess. When she opened the ark, she saw at once, this is one of the Hebrew children. Now, we know about fathers and daughters. She knew her father had condemned him to death, but you can almost hear her saying, like, Daddy, can I keep him? So she adopted Moses, raised him as a prince. And the fourth woman was Zipporah, Moses' wife. When he was a fugitive in Midian, in Arabia, basically, he married Zipporah, the daughter of a non-Israelite priest. And he spent 40 years out there chasing sheep. Then when God called him to the burning bush to go back to Egypt, on the way home, Exodus says the Lord met him and sought to put him to death. To death. Why? Well, because Moses had failed to circumcise his son. So Zipporah, the wife, took a flint, circumcised the boy, touched Moses with the blood, and said, you are a bridegroom of blood to me. And then God left Moses alone. So a mother's courage, a sister's quick thinking, the compassion of a foster mother, and the action of a godly wife allowed Moses to survive to become the deliverer of Israel.
I'm no feminist, but I do love the way that God made woman to be a helpmeet. I just think it's the most beautiful, powerful role, and I'm so sad that more women don't understand that. But I'll tell you something, I think Gen Z is catching on. I really do. I'm hearing it all the time from the younger kids. The trad wife is a very big thing. Anyway, Dr. Jim Mosley, always a pleasure to have you. Looking forward to our next book together in our Bible by Heart series.
I can't wait. The pleasure's all mine.
All right. All right, we're back with the second hour of American Sunrise, this Freedom Friday, this Puppy Friday, in only 2 minutes. Stay with us. We'll take ya.
Tracy.
Hey, we are back. I've got some hometowns. Did I lose everybody? I need new batteries. Oh, okay.
Dr. McConkey, Terrance Bates here. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you. Appreciate you being here with us.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Of course. Stand by.
Yeah, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, goodness.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Cubby, come here, Cub. What are you doing all the way down there? Come here.
Maybe Mango can make another appearance. I don't know where he is.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up on this second hour of American Sunrise, President Trump says Hamas has agreed to disarm. It's a major breakthrough for Gaza, or is it? We'll discuss. Plus, the U.S. and Iran continue to exchange strikes this week as the war continues to expand with Saudi Arabia's entry into the conflict. We'll have the very latest on the widening war straight ahead. And then later, tech mogul Elon Musk back in the political arena with a huge investment in an effort to boost Republican voter turnout in this year's midterm elections. Can Musk actually tip the scale this November? We'll talk about it. Those stories and so much more coming your way right now on the second hour of American Sunrise.
Good morning, America.
Welcome to American Sunrise.
Whether it's culture,
we have breaking news to share with you.
Politics.
President Trump is joining us live now from Florida.
We've got you covered.
This is what it looks like to be a patriot.
We have to protect the American family.
The American dream is still alive.
I'm David Brody.
I'm Terrance.
And I'm Dr. Gina.
Welcome back to this second hour of American Sunrise. I'm Terrance Bates. I'm coming to you from our Denver newsroom. Let's bring in Dr. Gina. She's in our West Palm Beach studio, or the Palm Beaches, as she often says. Bo Davidson in for David Brody, who is out this morning. Lady and gentleman, good to see both of you.
You as well, Terrance. We're glad you're back.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. It's nice to be back. Bo, always good to see you, my friend. I would ask you to sing, but I'll hold that off for later on today. By the way, do you have your piano close or your keyboard?
I do, but it's not close enough. But I do want to tell you about David. David did write me. He did say that he got $30 for his jury duty, and because of his newfound wealth, there's a chance he might not be coming back. He's gained a lot of wealth. So he's now decided to do, like as an actor, he's just going to go from jury to jury. They want him so badly. So, guys, I just want to be honest with you. He's found some newfound income. So I don't know if he's coming back or not.
Oh, okay.
David
well, he'll
Brody,
definitely have a
antics.
Story to tell.
Gosh, I was describing
you know,
him last night at dinner to a friend. I just, the antics of that man. I just can't, can't even. Yeah.
He's hilarious. He texted late last night and said, hey, I'm kind of finishing up. I may be available or not. And I really wanted to text back Dr. Gina. He may have actually told you. I was like, guilty, not guilty. What are we doing here? But I was like, you know what? I won't even ask. I'll find out when I actually talk to him. Did he text you? Do you know the outcome, Dr. Gina?
I don't know the outcome, but I know the loose details of what the case was about. So that it'll be very interesting. I know what he could tell me legally. He didn't tell me anything he couldn't tell me legally. But I'll let him tell it, because I don't want to broadcast anything that's his
business. Because it's one of the first things I'm going to ask. I'm not going to lie. Once we get him back on, I'm like, dude, guilty, not guilty?
Oh, yeah, I know you'll ask, Terrance. Terrance, there's really pretty much nothing you won't ask on live public television. You've done it to me before. Why did I say public? I meant national.
I'm sorry.
Not public. We're not public. We're very,
I'm sorry.
very, very privately held company.
Gina.
Pardon?
Yeah, exactly. I do love you. You know, I have one of those minds.
No,
like
I love it.
When the thought hits my mind, it comes out, and you know, sometimes I should think twice or at least take a beat.
You know, my background's
I'm
in
still learning
psychology. I'm all about the questions that get the answers. So I totally respect it, Terrance. It's fun.
Well, I appreciate it, Dr. G. All right, let's get to a couple of quick headlines here. President Trump is going to be heading to Camp David shortly in order to host his latest cabinet meeting. He's scheduled to meet with his secretaries at 11 this morning. Today's meeting, by the way, marks the 13th cabinet meeting of his second term and the first held at the presidential retreat. President Trump has rarely visited Camp David during his second term. This morning's gathering comes as 47 says a, quote, historic agreement has been reached for Hamas to disarm and for Israel to withdraw its forces from Gaza. A Georgia father who gave his now 16-year-old son the gun that the kid used in a deadly school shooting will spend the next 15 years of his life behind bars. It's a new phenomenon of parents being charged and convicted in conjunction with crimes that their children committed.
It is clear you failed as a parent. You did not provide a stable household. You didn't get him mental health counseling when it was obvious he needed some. None of those failures helped your case, but those aren't why you were convicted. You were convicted because the warning lights were flashing brighter and brighter, and you didn't get him help, and you didn't remove his access to the guns.
The 55-year-old dad's sentencing on Thursday comes just days after his son was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Millions of older Americans who depend on Medicare Part D for their prescriptions are bracing for the possibility of higher prices for their medicines. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services is ending a temporary subsidy program for prescriptions, which was implemented under the Biden administration back in 2024. The change could could cause prices to spike starting next year, even though federal officials insist the financial impact on Medicare beneficiaries will be minimal. The roughly 25 million Americans on Medicare Part D will find out about their 2027 rates this coming fall. That's a quick check of your headlines. Now let's get a quick check of your hometown forecast with Weather Nation meteorologist Tracy Anthony. TT, good morning.
Hey, good morning. You know what? We're going to start off in Ontario, Oregon. So this coming in, oh, Greg, I forgot to put your first name on this. This is Greg. Oh my gosh, I can't talk, it's Friday. McElroy on YouTube, 103 for your daytime high. So this is just a little northwest of Boise, Idaho, so kind of right along the border. But they are gonna be scorching, and then they'll feel a pretty big cool down as temperatures drop to the 80s on Sunday. We will expect gusty winds this weekend, and the smoke from the fires in the northwest will be felt and seen off in the horizon across much of the nation for the next day and into the weekend. So all the way down to the south central plains and to the southeast. So Stockton, Missouri, this is our second stop coming in from Kelly Loves Ozarks on YouTube. 94 degrees today. You will have some showers and thunderstorms. We were dealing with flash flood warnings in Kansas City earlier today, and we're going to brace for several more rounds of storms. A big cool down for you, going from 94 today to 79 tomorrow. But this is that picture perfect weekend, so it is going to be very nice for you. And last stop is Leesburg, Alabama. This one I found in my inbox from earlier in the week, so just wanted to make sure I got Janer forecast. It is going to be pretty soggy once we get through the day today, but hey, it's the rainy season in the southeast. And then Terrance, I just wanted to ask you, because we were talking about events, have you ever been to Lollapalooza in Chicago? That's this weekend.
Is that this weekend? I have never been. Of course, I've heard of it, but no, I've never been. I think it kind of got started, you know, I was really adulting, and I was like, yeah, that's for young people. I'm a little too old for that. But yeah, I do know of Lollapalooza, just have never been. Are you going?
Yeah. No, I know. I used to know a few friends that would go every year, but I honestly can't even tell you what kind of music it is. I just know it's a big music festival in Chicago.
Yeah. I think it's like all kinds of different music, but a lot of it, I think they call it EDM, that it's not house music, but it's that kind of techno. I think they play a lot of that there. But again, useless knowledge that I have.
Rabbit hole.
Thanks, Tracy. Exactly.
Yeah,
we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend.
You too.
All right. President Trump says an agreement has been reached for Hamas and for other armed groups to disarm in Gaza. President Trump posted on Truth Social that the plan would be carried out, quote, in carefully structured phases, calling it a critical step towards Gaza being governed by a new Palestinian government. The framework, by the way, also calls for the Israeli forces to withdraw as the disarmament process is completed. However, Israel has not publicly endorsed this latest agreement and remains skeptical that Hamas will actually surrender all of its weapons and dismantle its tunnel network. U.S. officials say that full implementation could take roughly 200 to 350 days. Interesting. Joining us now with some analysis is emergency physician, Air Force Reserve Colonel, and North Carolina candidate for Lieutenant Governor, Dr. Josh McConkey. Doc, good morning. Good to see you.
Hey, good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you. So what do you make of the announcement from President Trump? Do you think that Hamas is really going to do this in good faith and ultimately disarm? Or is President Trump simply putting the pressure on Hamas now by making such a public statement?
Well, you love to see the pressure, and everyone wants to see them disarmed. I'm extremely skeptical. I know with the last ceasefire after those October 7th attacks, there was supposed to be some disarming of Hamas then as well. It didn't happen. It's difficult to take them at their word, and it would take well over a year to see that done anyway. So I met with a lot of skepticism, but certainly it would be lovely to see.
Well, the war in Iran rapidly expanding to involve other countries in that region, including Saudi Arabia. The Saudis recently joined forces in airstrikes against Iran-backed militias in Iraq after a series of drone attacks targeted Saudi oil facilities. The strikes were an act of self-defense, they say, and they insist it is not seeking a broader war, rather. What's your take on what's actually happening here?
So what you're seeing is a very strategic pivot by Saudi Arabia. There's been a lot of tension with them and Iran through the decades. So Saudi Arabia is the largest Sunni nation in the region, and Iran is the largest Shia nation. And, they didn't even normalize relations and have diplomatic ties again until 2023. But what you've seen the United States for decades and various administrations until Trump has finally stepped up, and the other countries in that region, they've been appeasing Iran. They've been ceding that leverage to the Straits of Hormuz for decades. And what you're seeing now is the Saudi Arabians have had enough. That's it. They're stepping up. The gloves are off. And this is where you see the adapt and overcome. The world economy, whether it's building new pipelines or building some canals in the region, something has to happen. Iran is not ever going to be a rational actor in that region. And so this is their strategic pivot.
Josh, we're continuing to follow the fallout from Anthony Fauci's testimony on Capitol Hill earlier this week. As you know, Senator Rand Paul is moving forward with a contempt vote for Fauci over his refusal to answer questions despite his presidential pardon. We're learning now Florida's Attorney General is launching his own probe into Fauci over claims he made during the pandemic. What consequences do you see coming for Fauci, if any? I know this state level approach is a little different. Contempt can be, it can go civil, you can go criminal. But what ultimately do you think happens? And do you think, Florida's Attorney General is right to move forward with this? And will he be successful?
Well, everyone saw the testimony, the 111 times pleading the fifth. You just can't help but think about Dave Chappelle's skit several years ago, pleading the fifth. It's all over social media. I made a post myself, but it's more than that. So this is an individual, when you look at his personal diary, that is one of the strangest things I have ever seen. I am a physician, and to see him write that down, maybe you can think those things and, oh, look at me, I'm super famous. Every single day, there was literally a journal entry of, I met this person, I'm in this magazine, I'm on this network, I had lunch with Caitlin Collins. It was really bizarre. It really kind of shows you where his mindset was at. He was just feeding off of that power. Public judgment, I think, is going to be extremely harsh on that, whether there's criminal charges or not. If he does testify and there's perjury, I think that's about the only way you can get him now that he's, from President Biden. So when he gave him that all-encompassing, it's painful.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the Dave Chappelle skit. I appreciate it. Such a great skit. You got my vote on that reference alone, Doc. Appreciate you being here with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Coming up, Rav's very own Steve Gruber joins us. He had a chance to sit down with President Trump yesterday. We're checking in with him to see what that conversation was like and to even hear some of it. Don't go anywhere. We're back in a moment. Stevie G.
Hola, señor. ¿Cómo está usted?
Ay, ay, ay. How long did you go with the protest with President Trump?
A remarkable 28 minutes.
Ooh, okay. And my apologies, honestly, I've been out sick the past couple of days, so I've only seen a clip or two. I haven't seen much of it, but I'm sure it was awesome.
You know, it's pretty good. We had, oh my God, someday, you know, we had a technical failure just before they were supposed to come on, and we were like 30 seconds away from him going on to do something else. And Ivy swooped in and saved it, and we got 28 minutes. It was unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
Anyhow, and then he reposted me on Truth Social last night, posted about our song on Truth Social, about One Nation being a great song. Our numbers... All of a sudden, the song's going flying back up the charts.
Well, that's nice.
That's awesome.
It is nice. You know, so.
It's more the singer, not the drummer out in the field.
It's all Laura. I'm just there. Yeah, what drums do you put in a field? Ones you don't care about.
All right, stand by.
All right.
What a beautiful sunrise there. Gorgeous shot. We appreciate you being here with us on this Friday morning. I'm Terrance Bates. Welcome back to American Sunrise. I want to check in with our good friend Steve Gruber. He had a chance to interview President Trump yesterday, and here's what the president had to tell Steve about the importance of the Save America Act.
It's hardly believable, actually. I would think that of all the things in the world today, that maybe the easiest thing to get approved would be voter ID with a photo and would be proof of citizenship. If you just took those two elements, I would say that may be the easiest thing I can think of. If you ask me for what would be the easiest thing to get approved, I would say voter ID, I would say proof of citizenship, and that includes Democrats, because if you look at the polls, they're 87% for everybody, including Democrats. They're 98% for Republicans, and I'm trying to figure out who the 2%. So I would be, I am amazed that the Senate can't get that approved.
By the way, make sure to tune into America's Voice Live this afternoon to see the interview commercial-free. Steve joining me now to talk more about what he heard from the president and that interview. Steve, always good to see you. When it comes to Save America, I think many people's frustrations lie squarely with John Thune and Republicans in the U.S. Senate. Did the president echo some of those frustrations?
Well, clearly he is frustrated that you can't get this through, as you heard him talking there. Now, what's interesting about this is then I asked him, I said, well, why don't you go out and make it clear to any non-citizen that votes, you'll be deported? He loved the idea. He says, I'm going to keep that. He talks about it 2 different times, early in the interview and then later. We talked for an astounding 28 minutes, which for anybody who knows and has done this for a while, getting 28 minutes with the president, that in of itself is really quite something. So we talked about a variety of issues. We talked about the Save America Act. We talked about the DSA and the shift to socialism. among the Democrats. We talked about the return of manufacturing. As you know, earlier this week, he was in Michigan. I was there with him at the General Motors Proving Grounds, talking about bringing money back. We talked about rare earth elements and Real Alloy, which is a company in Kentucky that is processing rare earth elements to put us on track so that we don't have to be beholden to China. It's a long interview, and that's why I'm really glad that Real America's Voice, they decided, look, let's just run this thing commercial free. It's about a half an hour, like I said, and that's going to happen today during America's Voice Live, the show that I host here in the afternoon. I think it's the right thing to do. It's a conversation with the president. It's really good, and it's really covers a lot of ground. Something else we talked about, Terrance, I want to whet your appetite for this, talking about national security for North America. We talked about Greenland because on Daybreak a number of months ago, I made a prediction. I shared this with the president yesterday when we spoke. I said I predicted that by the end of his second term, we would have operational control of Greenland. And he says, that's a good prediction. He said, you should take that bet. And so we talk about some things. Look, these are kind of hot button issues. You talk, if you tell voters that are non-citizens you can't vote, and if you do, you'll be deported, I think that has impact. He thought so too. Greenland, critical to national security. He talks about that at length. We talk about a lot of different topics. As you know, Terrance, you've done this for a long time. In 28 minutes, you can cover a lot of ground, and we do.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm curious if the two of you talked about the upcoming midterm convention that's happening in Dallas. I mean, September is right around the corner at this point. It's just over a month and say 10 days away. Is the president excited about that? What's he hoping the result of the midterm convention will be?
Well, we talked about the midterms pretty well in detail, and he is optimistic. Look, here's the fact. The Democrats are doing what Republicans have historically done, have a winnable race and get a really lousy candidate. Democrats are returning the favor to Republicans this time around, it appears to me. You look at Graham Plattner and that whole meltdown in Maine, now replaced by Troy Jackson, who has plenty of baggage of his own. You've got Abdul El Sayed. Brand new polling in Michigan shows that he is leading the Democratic pack by 10 points. He's also a socialist who has been an avowed. Look, these are anti-America people, which gives Michigan a chance to elect Mike Rogers, a former member of Congress, a former House Intelligence Committee chair. We talked at length about a lot of these things. These are people that are going to swing the election. The Republicans are in better shape today than they were 30 days ago. Yeah, there are things that are unpopular, the affordability of things, the war in Iran, that doesn't sit well with a lot of people. But when you put that up against radical far-left socialists, well, when they say pick the lesser of two evils, I'll sit here and I'll say it right here on the program right now. I believe the Republicans can and maybe will hold the House, and they'll add at least one seat to the United States Senate. I believe that's what's going to happen. And I think it's going to put the president in better shape for his last 2 years. This is a year that Democrats traditionally, historically should, win, have big pickups in seats. I don't see it happening. I mean, these radical candidates are turning off normal Democrats.
Hey, Steve, before I let you go, you're obviously a rock star here on this network, but in real life, you're now also a rock star as you've got a new song out. The president on True Social even praising that song. Folks, if you haven't, there you go. If you haven't heard the song, here's a little clip, and then like to get your reaction to the president talking about your song there on True Social. Here's the song, guys. Guys, do we have the song? Okay, we don't have the song after all. I was told we did have it. I will say that I am a fan of the song, and apparently President Trump also a fan of your song. Congratulations.
Well, yeah, we talked about that a little bit yesterday, too, because we talk about faith in America. And I don't think any president has done more to restore Christian faith and American values than this president. In my lifetime, maybe ever. And we talked about that. The song came up. I'm also writing a book right now, Terrance, about Providence in the presidency, and I'm writing a chapter about Donald Trump, and he said, make sure you send that to me. We'll make it a bestseller. It was a great conversation. It was good fun. And to wake up this morning to see that he had posted on True Social about One Nation, it's pretty flattering. I got to be honest. It's been a pretty good Friday so far.
Yeah, I'm sure, and I'm just glad that I shared the TV screen with you for a little bit of it. I can now go and brag to my friends. I know Steve Gruber. I know people. Steve, good to see you, my friend. Giving you shout outs. Appreciate it. Always good to see you, my buddy. All right, we'll talk soon. More American Sunrise after this.
Good morning, Bill. How are you?
Dr. Gina, I'm so well. I'm humbled and blessed.
Absolutely, likewise. So glad to have you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Of course. Of course. I think it's good timing for you on this issue.
Well, without your support, I wouldn't be here. So thank you again.
Oh, that's
so
not
grateful.
True. It's good to have you. Okay. Okay. I appreciate it, Pierce.
Country is under attack. The radical left woke agenda is infiltrating our schools, our houses of worship, our government, and our media. The younger generation needs you, the older, wiser generation, to stand up and lead us back to the right path. Think you're too old to fight? Stand up and fight today.
Make America great again.
Welcome back. We're about 4 minutes away from the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. Here's a quick look at pre-market trading. The Dow, S&P 500, and the NASDAQ are all in the green at the moment. Hopefully it stays that way once we get to the opening bell. Again, we'll take you there shortly. First, let's get you over to Dr. Gina. G, good morning.
Thanks, T. Good to have you back, as I said. A former Ukrainian prosecutor reigniting a long-running political controversy. Viktor Shokin, who served as Ukraine's prosecutor general, you'll remember this, from 2015 to 2016, has released a book claiming his dismissal was the result of pressure from then Vice President Joe Biden. Shokin recounts his investigations into the energy company Burisma, alleges political interference from both Ukrainian and U.S. officials, and argues his own removal that Joe Biden had in his hot mic moment was tied to his anti-corruption efforts. Remember this classic moment when Joe Biden was bragging that he got the prosecutor fired. We all remember that. Joining me now to talk more about it, investigative columnist Bill Robinson. Bill, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Gina. So great to be with you.
Bill, it's a great time for this book because Hunter Biden has reared his head again out there in social media, becoming popular with Gen Z, whoever thunk it. But also, we have the whole auto pen controversy and so many other controversies that we're finding out. Basically, it was all true, what we thought. Bill, tell us about this particular story, because I remember being enraged when I saw this.
Yeah, it really stuck in America's craw. And what's amazing is, and this falls down to us, we didn't do anything about it. And it was partially because the media was so good at sweeping things under the carpet. And it's partially because this demented villain, Joe Biden. I mean, he really comes out of, the geniuses at DC Comics and Marvel Comics couldn't come up with such a demented villain. And he was controlling our country in one way or the other for the last 50 years. It's quite amazing and extraordinary, but we are winning. We're winning, and we have to learn to get better at holding these people accountable. That's something you hear all the time.
Yeah.
Victor Shokin, as he was called by the publisher of his book, is a great Ukrainian patriot. And they've been giving him the Trump treatment over there in the Ukraine for a long time since this has been going on. And I have a feeling that, like President Trump, I think that Victor Shokin is somebody who stands up for what's right and good and fair and justice. And the Biden crew really went to work on him.
What was the personal fallout from that moment?
Well, the personal fallout was, for me or for him?
For whoever you want to talk about. I think there was, the thing that really infuriated you and me and everybody else who was paying attention was the arrogance and the just stepping up and bragging about it. Obviously Obama and everybody else involved with Biden was saying, would you just please shut up? And, I'm surprised he hasn't been prosecuted. There were so many crimes he committed over there that, it could just be, it would be so ironic to wheel him in like a mafia don into the courtroom with an oxygen tank and in a wheelchair. And that's the way he's going with the cancer diagnosis. He's trying to avoid everything, and his family, everybody's scurrying. So we're winning this thing. We just have to keep the pressure up and continue to go after Joe Biden. I have some quotes from the book that your readers might be interested in, your viewers might be interested in hearing. Can I share those with you now? Sure.
Great. So the first one is from Victor Shokin himself in his book. The story of how Ukrainian authorities, under the wing of American officials and diplomats, mastered international financial aid is worthy of a film by a master of crime drama such as Martin Scorsese.
Oh, do you think? That would be a great film. I don't know. Maybe Bill, we're so close to out of time. We got to get to the bell, but maybe we can have you back and talk about that, because I think a film is definitely in order. This is a moment in our history we don't ever want to forget. And this book talks about it from the most personal perspective you can have. And we thank you so much for being with us and for the book. I know the book can be purchased everywhere good books are sold, and we hope that folks will get it and remember and help us remember what happens when people like Joe Biden get in office. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Let's get ready for the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. It is sponsored, of course, by AMAC.
The Association of Mature American Citizens is the conservative voice for Americans 50 and older. AMAC is fighting for the values that you hold dear. Join today. Together, we can write the course of America.
Well, the markets are officially open. They opened about 2 minutes ago. This was the applause there from Reformation at the podium in advance of the opening bell. You're going to hear the bell here momentarily. There you have it. Just wanted to take you back. It's always fun to hear the bell and see all the applause. Here's how the markets are looking right now. So far, so good to start this final day of trading of the week. The Dow, S&P 500, and the NASDAQ all in the green, as you can see here. The rest of the board kind of a mixed bag, but the major indices, that's what's important. They are starting off on a positive note. By the way, if you're 64 years old or older, this is something that you really need to hear. Medicare is complicated, and we all know that, but it doesn't necessarily have to be stressful. Chapter is the only Medicare advisor that compares every single plan nationwide. On the phone with you, they'll actually look at your doctors, your prescriptions, your priorities, and then they'll help you understand what you actually have and whether something better is available to you. There's no pressure, there's no agenda, just help. After just one phone call, Jody said that her experience was a, quote, blessing. She was blown away by how knowledgeable and honest that the folks over at Chapter were. If you're already on the right plan, they'll tell you. If you're not, Chapter will help you switch. Folks who found new plans with Chapter have really saved themselves an average of about $1,100 a year. In order to get in contact with them, simply call 843-MED-HELP. That's 843-MED-HELP. Take 20 minutes and see for yourself. That's 843-MED-HELP. It's completely free, and we really think that you'll be glad you made the phone call. Still to come here on American Sunrise, Elon Musk is back in the political arena, and he is putting his money where his mouth is for the midterms. We'll talk about how he's trying to shake up the congressional map. That's after the break. Donna and Don, good morning.
I think only one of us is in that block, right? Yeah, it's you, Terrance.
What up, G?
Oh man, we don't get to talk to everybody.
No, we talked about this morning. It's
become
just Terrance.
Like a career full-time
No,
jury
it's just
guy.
Bo.
What up, B?
B, T, G.
They can't hear us.
Yeah.
You're right. Gosh, brain is.
Why am I hearing everything
not working
echoed
today?
Uh-oh, that's not good.
Okay. Hey, Don.
Hey, what up? What up, T?
What's going on, brother? Rumor has it that you use a computer-assisted, if you will, I guess, filter for your singing voice. Is that right? I don't believe it.
No, that's not true. I don't sing at all. And no offense to Bo, I hate working with vocalists. I despise working with vocalists. And they despise working with me. Because, like, let's say...
Test.
Oh, they just...
Who moves to the right?
Cut out on me.
Who?
Just cut on it, yeah.
Oh, both of us? Okay. We got to... Okay.
All right, welcome back to American Sunrise. I'm Dr. G. We thank you for joining us this morning. We invite you to hop in our conversation on YouTube, Getter, and Rumble. It is time now to take the political pulse of America. Here's the beat today. Elon Musk, jumping back into politics in a big way. The tech mogul reviving his America PAC for the 2026 midterms with a major effort to boost Republican voter turnout across the country. After spending more than $260 million to help elect President Trump in 2024, Musk's super PAC will once again focus on door-knocking, digital ads, and direct mail aimed at turning out conservative voters who don't typically show up in the midterms. The move comes as Republicans look to defend their congressional majorities despite a challenging political environment. Joining us now with their analysis, the co-hosts of Cowboy Logic on Rav, Donna Fiducia and Don Newen. So glad to have you guys back. Donna, no question, Elon Musk was instrumental in helping put President Trump back in the White House in 2024. Can it work for this year's midterms? And do you think it'd be more effective doing GOTV, or do you think it'd be more effective doing Doge again?
I wish we'd codify Doge.
Yeah.
That's what we really need to have done. And here's the problem. I remember under Ronna McDaniel, we had, $400 million that the GOP sat on and didn't do a damn thing to help Donald Trump. So I'm glad now we've got about $300 million or so for Trump. And with the super PAC that Trump has, the MAGA super PAC, it's about $400 million. So that's pretty cool. But Musk buying X was huge. That was the biggie thing. You know, I mean, it's about time we we have somebody on our side. They've got so many people to attack the right. It's about time we have somebody on our side. But you know what? The real big thing, the real big problem in the midterms is that evangelicals and gun owners just a lot of times don't vote. If they would come out as a bloc, we'd be so much better off. The other thing is, I think we need to look at what's going on right now in Spain. Did you see how Spain is getting invaded by Morocco? Our borders are closed. We have not codified the closed borders either. So these midterms are huge to try to get all of Trump's EOs codified, or else we're going to go right back to where we were during the Biden administration, and that's catastrophic for this country. And I think anybody who's got any cowboy logic sense would think.
And that's why you're here, Donna, because we need that cowboy logic. And we'll turn our attention to your compatriot there, Don. You know, we both love music. We both love making music. You're releasing a brand new song today, honoring American soldiers killed in one of the deadliest incidents during the war in Afghanistan. Let's watch a quick preview right now.
Some stories deserve more than headlines. They deserve to be remembered. Extortion 17 honors the 30 American service members and 8 Afghan partners who made the ultimate sacrifice when their helicopter was shot down during a mission in Afghanistan on August 6, 2011. Through powerful orchestration and heartfelt emotion, composer Don Newen pays tribute to their courage, their service, and the families who continue to carry their legacy. From Real America's Music, this is Extortion 17 by Don Newen. Download it now.
Don, I'm honored to be able to talk with you about this song because you and I share a mutual love for veterans and especially the fallen, honoring those people. So I'd like for you to talk about the song, why this particular subject was so important to you. And I also know that you're donating 100% of the proceeds that you receive to Operation 300, which is incredible. So please tell us more about the song, the inspiration, and also the paying it forward that you're doing.
Well, first of all, in 2013, Donna and I had the honor of meeting Billy and Karen Vaughn, who are the parents of one of those 17 Navy SEALs that was killed during that mission, and they were on the helicopter, call sign Extortion 17. And we decided that we wanted to write this song to honor them in an additional way than we already are. The first way that we did was back in
Don got his first tattoo. Much
2020.
Okay with this one.
This was the same exact tattoo that Aaron Vaughn had on his forward-facing arm.
Awesome.
And it's Mola Lave for anybody that doesn't understand. It's from the movie 300, where the Greeks said to the Persians, Mola Lave. And then the reason they said that was because the Persians said, hey, just lay down your guns and surrender. And this means come and take them. And they did. And that was the end of the 300 guys from Greece. But at any rate, I wanted to carry the load for the Vaughn family for the rest of my life. And there's one way to do that, and that's put ink on your skin. So this is the exact same tattoo. Well, Don Brown, who you all know from being on the network, he ran for Senate in North Carolina, is a dear friend of ours as well. We actually read his book many years ago. When all the guys in J6 were locked up, we probably sent 30, 40 books of Don Brown's Extortion 17 to them in prison and jail to read. And we decided to write a song that was based on Extortion 17. A lot of the information that we used in the lyrics and that we created the lyrics with came out of that book. And then we were able to partner up with a company called Triple Horse, because in order to really understand what the song's about, it helps to be able to understand Extortion 17. And so they were kind enough to grant us permission to utilize footage from their documentary and film, and that's why we've got about a 9-minute music video, so that the viewers can actually see some of that footage. We decided that there's two things that we will never ever make money off of: January Sixers and fallen warriors. So about 4 weeks before this song was released, Donna and I decided that every single penny of the royalties that we earned off the sale and download, and it's important, guys, you got to download it. Don't just stream it, download it. Every penny that we earn now for the next 70 years, which is as long as the distribution agreement will last for that song, will go to Extortion 17. We'll never take a penny of it. We'll go to Operation 300. I'm sorry.
Yeah, really. So here's the thing, though, Bo. A lot of people, the bigger history of this is Joe Biden outed SEAL Team 6. Remember, SEAL Team 6 is who killed bin Laden. And a lot of people are thinking this is payback. It very well could be. And the movie talks about that, and we show a lot of that in the song as well. This, it's unfortunately a real bad stain for our military, and it was the biggest single loss of life
in Afghanistan. And it's an enormous cover-up by the Department of Defense.
Gee, does that sound familiar?
And the Obama administration.
It's like in the MO of our federal government.
Here's the thing. This weekend, and I don't see a time clock, so cut me off if I'm running too long here.
No, keep going, Don.
This weekend, we are doing a special devoted the entire 2 hours to Extortion 17. We've got two subject matter experts. Lieutenant Commander Don Brown, who you guys are all going to know, and then a young lady that I reached out to. I gave her a cold call, and believe it or not, with the number of spam calls, she answered my call.
Captain
Joni Marquez was in the, we would call it the eyes in the sky. It's a C-130H. And yeah, she was watching all of this go down, and it's way too much for me to get into right now. But ladies and gentlemen, there is everything wrong from this mission, where we had two Chinook helicopters, Extortion 16 and Extortion 17. We had two Apache gunships. We had Rangers that were not pinned down, despite what everything was that was said about it. And then we've got the C-130H.
And they piled them all on that one Chinook helicopter, which is like a dragon. It just goes very slowly, should not be put in a hot zone, instead of splitting them up. So they all were killed at one time. Watch the show, and it'll explain.
Absolutely.
It's tragic.
Donna, unfortunately, it is tragic. It sounds like it, but it's going to be a great conversation in the barn party this weekend. Unfortunately, we're going to have to go, guys. But folks, tune into the barn party this weekend with Don and Donna to get more of this. Good to see you both. Hugs to both of you. Don,
thank you so much. See you later. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, folks, the music video once again for Don's brand new song, Extortion 17, premieres at 10 o'clock this morning, right after this show, right here on Real America's Voice Music channel on YouTube. Make sure to check it out. For the first time since World War II, our national debt held by the public has exceeded GDP. America, this is really a wake-up call for all of us. Our sins of the past, which include reckless government spending, have really caught up to us. The big question is, what's next? Does that include higher inflation, higher prices, higher cost of living expenses, and higher interest payments on the national debt? Every dollar that Washington spends on interest is a dollar that it has to tax, borrow, or print. Smart retirement planners prepare for potential setbacks, and they can do that by diversifying with a time-tested asset that's known for weathering the storm. That asset would be physical gold from our friends over at the Birch Gold Group. Text the word America to the number 989898, and the Birch Gold Group will send you a free information kit on converting an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. You don't pull the ripcord on your parachute once you've already hit the ground, so don't wait for economic turbulence in order to diversify. Instead, text the word America to the number 989898. Again, that's America. Text that word to the number 989898 and own some gold from the Birch Gold Group. Coming up, we're checking in with the RAV chat room report. You definitely don't want to miss that. That's next. Care, what's going on, my friend?
Terrance, good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Okay,
I'm fully dressed because I've got on my smile.
You are well clothed today, sir.
It's always good to hear your voice, my buddy, and I can't wait to see you and give you a big old hug.
One of these days, I keep waiting to hear that plane that has landed in West Palm Beach at the new Donald J. Trump Airport.
There you go. I'm kind of planning a trip maybe this fall. I'm still trying to get some things in order, so I will let you know in advance, and hopefully we can have a drink or something.
I would love that. You know, I'm only a couple hours away. I can be down there anytime. I drive anywhere to see you.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All right, stand by.
Yes, sir.
Emo. Tango. Tango. Three. Stop there, Tango.
From packed crowd. Let's spill some tea.
This segment is sponsored by Artillery Tea Company. It's veteran-owned and it's built for those who serve. Scan the QR code right there at the bottom of your screen right now for a special RAV offer on their new iced tea starter kit. The kit includes 30 total servings of their top 5 iced tea blends that are designed for maximum bold flavor. Plus, you'll get a custom sticker and a cold brewing instructions kit for making the perfect iced tea like you've never tasted before, and you can do so simple and fast. Normally, this is a $55 value, but it's just $29.95 with free shipping for a limited time only. Again, scan the QR code right there at the bottom of your screen before this deal ends. All right, let's get right into what's in the cup today, and that would be you, our RAV viewers. Joining us now with the RAV chat room report is our good friend, a RAV family member, and a chat room dweller. That would be Carefree Largo. I simply call him Care. Good to see you, my friend.
Good morning, my friend. How are you, Terrance?
I am doing well. You see the smile? I'm fully dressed.
You are indeed. I appreciate you having us back on. It's been a minute, and with the conversations that have been going on Real America's Voice, I wanted to reach out to our ravagers, your viewers, and throw a few things at them. You see, Here we go again. We have communists trying to take over our government. We have Islamic terrorists trying to take another foothold here in the United States. And the prevailing cries of the day are still defund the police, defund ICE, get rid of the courts, empty out the prisons. So we had a thought. How about this? Do it. Defund them. Shut down the entire legal system. Defund the police. You see, these people are still under the mistaken impression that all those things have been put in place to protect us from them. They've never once considered the consequences of the actions of their dream coming true. What if the system is there it's the only thing standing between the American people and them? What if the very system they want to take down is the only thing that keeps the American people from taking this into their own hands and getting rid of every illegal alien in this country? What if the very system that they threaten to tear apart is the only thing that stands between them and the true justice for the lives that have been lost, the lives that have been destroyed, and the harm that has been done to this nation, not just now, but in the future? What if? What if accountability for this is the only way our nation heals and moves forward? Terrance, here's what our Ravagers had to say. Our favorite war room prayer said, "My true thoughts, these people got the clot shot and it is deteriorating their brains. They think if they truly are able to rid our country of stability, security, law, and order, they'll have the utopia that they have so longed for, a fiendish hegemony. Eventually they will. They might achieve it, but not until God says so." Revelations 22:12 clearly says, "And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be." Danny Braden over on Facebook joined in. I believe that is what is going to come down. It doesn't seem like the government wants to do a whole lot. Too many rhinos, scumbags. The government, too. Too many backstabbers, liars, cheats, thieves. You don't know who you can trust anymore. One of my very favorites, Elizabeth N. from Getter, said, "Just imagine Obama and Fauci out celebrating Fauci's hundreds of times, saying, 'I plead the fifth' in front of the Senate and the whole world, and a couple of people who have lost their parents, maybe their grandparents, to COVID, remdesivir, hear them. And there's no more law, no more police. They've been defunded, no more courts." I don't think I have to go any further with that. The people of this country want our laws applied equally, Terrance. We want justice. We want to be able to trust those that we vote for, and right now we do not. Standing firm in your faith, with the courage of your convictions, that's how you live carefree. That's why they call it Carefree Largo, my brother.
Amen, my brother. It's always good to see you. Sending big hugs your way, and always good to see you, my friend. We'll talk soon.
Thank you, sir. Remember, you're never completely dressed until you put on a Terrance-like smile.
There you
Have
go.
a great weekend,
I love that.
everybody.
Love that so much. Have a great weekend, my friend. More American Sunrise coming your way in 2 minutes.
You can take the flag from the screen, but you can't.
Well, he does like sweet, and he doesn't like fruit.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
Mango, your hair is getting everywhere. I wonder if the mic can pick up your purring.
Kobe, you have to wake up for your cameo. He's very tired again, every day. Or lazy. I don't know which one it is. Kobe, are you tired or are you lazy?
You see him up there?
Oh, look.
Dr. Gina, from now on, I want you to talk to me in that voice. Anytime you introduce me, I want you to say, "It's Terrance Bates. Terrance Bates is coming."
That's awesome.
Gonna get on me. Just wait a minute, Mango. Just chill out. Just hang on. Just hang on.
Mango, do what you do. With a name like Mango, you live your life, Mango.
Well, he's got treats that are nearby, so he's very into that.
Testing. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I hear you. It kind of in the
They're eating the
whoever
dogs.
that was talking.
They're eating the cats.
Testing 1, 2, 3. How's this sound? Does this sound better, Terrance?
Yeah. I mean, I can hear you.
No, he's a sweet little anaconda. He's purple. He's so cute. He's got a little turned up nose.
Just wait a minute. Just wait.
Welcome back to American Sunrise. I'm Dr. G. Thanks so much for being with us today. It is time to play our game of this or that. Today, it's the best way to cook chicken. And oh, look at Mango, though. I was going to say, and little Terrance wants to give his recipe.
Yeah, I guess I've been volunteered to give my recipe. And here's the crazy part. I don't have a consistent recipe. It's just kind of, when I fry chicken, it's how I happen to feel that day. But one of the things I've been doing recently is rather than frying big pieces of chicken, like, you know, a breast or a thigh or a drumstick, I get the little party wings, like what you see there on your screen, and I'll fry party wings, which is just more efficient and it's quicker. But I will say this, Dr. Gina, use a cast iron skillet.
Yes.
Make sure that you season your chicken, but also season your flour. You have to have the flour, season your flour, and then make sure that the heat is moderate, about 325. You have to keep it consistent and